All right, we'll start it off. This is so uncomfortable.
I know, right?
Ladies and gentlemen of the URFLT, this is Spencer Hansen, and I'm joined by the bearded one,
Kasey Torgerson.
Kasey. Thank you for joining the podcast. Thank you for coming out of it's not retirement, but out of parental
Feels like retirement.
Parental leave retirement. Joining
I've been
me.
out for a few weeks. I think I remember my way back to the office, but
We'll test it. When do you come back?
sometime in January. I'm hoping they'll call me and remind me.
All right. Might happen, might not happen. We're coming live from my car, of all places, this time. We're parked outside a Mexican restaurant called Chile Amor, located in North Salt Lake. And, the reason we're here, we wanted to record this live from the restaurant because of many reasons. But I'll pass it over to Kasey to just kind of give us a little info why we're at this exact location.
Well, it's in my neighborhood here in North Salt Lake, so I always try to give my advice when we worked with Basel to where to eat, and no one ever believed me.
That's
But yeah, no one ever believed me where to eat, so I finally talked everyone to come here to Chile Amor. It has great views of the refinery park behind me here in Bountiful, North Salt Lake. Tom Law and Spencer Whiting gave me all sorts of crap about coming to such a remote location up here in Idaho is what they view it as.
It's in their defense, the appearance of the restaurant is a little bit drab.
It's not the most exotic.
It's kind of like
place.
It's kind of like me, a little bald perhaps on the interior in terms of decor, but it has some pros. Once
Yeah,
you get inside.
it's got some type of dish. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Paradivas.
Parrillada, maybe?
Oh, okay. He speaks Spanish, so he sounds a lot better than I do.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it's spelled.
But it comes with meat, tortillas, cheese, beans, guacamole, everything you need. And actually, we got some reviews from Lauren and Tom also saying the best carne asada they've ever had. So
it's a delicious location.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted to meet up here. Wait, let me backtrack for a second and ask you. You mentioned there was a few questionable looks when you suggested this for Basel as a location for a lunch. Do you feel like this is an Amex issue, that the analyst level is not, their opinion on lunch places is under-respected in the company?
You know, it is kind of an issue. Every time I brought it up, someone always acted like they were going to get a stomach ache or I was trying to poison someone. I mean, I eat food too, just like the normal person, just like the managers and directors. I live off of this stuff, so I think I have some good knowledge to share.
Well, I appreciate that. Knowledge is what we seek to share on the RFLT podcast. And part of that knowledge, of course, was a lunch suggestion. If you and your team or your significant other relationship person is looking for a spot to eat, we give Chile Amor multiple thumbs up.
Yeah.
Even though this is the shameful part, they don't accept Amex. We tried to talk them into it. We tried to persuade them. We made a few arguments, showed a few slides during our lunch.
Yeah. Maybe make a call in a corporate. If you can get them to switch and accept Amex, then it'll all be all the better.
That's right. Get your cash back, your rewards. Okay, so just in case you thought this entire podcast was going to be about Mexican food, which it probably could be. Kasey and myself are big fans. Kasey dressed up his son as a taco once.
I did, yep.
I eat Mexican food probably 6 out of 7 days of the week, so we're big fans. However, that's not the entire purpose of this podcast. Most of you, when you hear the name Kasey Charlie Torgerson, which, by the way, this is another question I've always wanted to ask you. Does it bug you on chat that your name shows up as Kasey Charlie Torgerson? Mine shows up as Spencer Douglas Hansen. It always bugs me because I always think someone's going to see that and think, oh, who's this pretentious fellow with the multiple names in the chat?
I don't think it bugs me. However, I don't know why it even does that. I don't even know if I had a say in the issue. I just showed up one day, and honestly, when I first showed up, I think my middle name was capitalized too. So like it was,
it was all caps.
Like yelling at you. So I don't understand if there was a new tech guy or someone else that decided I deserved to be different than everyone else. I have no idea.
The all caps was remarkable. Well, it was a very aggressive means of starting a conversation via IM. But
it felt like I was always yelling at someone.
If there's anyone out there within the URFLT that's got the inside scoop on who comes up with the names on IM.
Naming convention.
Yeah, we'd like our middle names maybe removed.
Give me an initial. I'll be all right with that.
Okay, normal initial.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Oh,
the other funny part is actually trying to change the caps lock of your name is quite the bureaucratic process.
Oh,
I have like levels of approval and things just
Yeah.
to make people not capitalize my name.
sounds about right. Now, sorry for getting us off track. What I wanted to say was, most of you may know the name Kasey Torgerson, or Kasey, all caps, Charlie Torgerson, from a little something I like to call the Foosball National Indoor Professionals League, a foosball tournament that was held within GAAP over the course of the year 2017, a dynamic, a competitive, and a heart-racing tournament that saw multiple pairs of foosball partners wage battle on the playing table. Kasey, you were a champion.
Yeah, so it's gonna be up for debate. I know someone's gonna have to say something about it. I'm pretty sure it'll be Maury. We made it to the championship round, and they waited. They sat on us. They're waiting. It's supposed to be a Q1 activity. Me and Johnny swept the field, waiting for the double loss people to meet us in the winner's bracket. And then no one played. Next thing you know, Johnny Means is working somewhere else. I'm on parental leave. Meanwhile, just hanging out in the winner's bracket. So I'm not sure if someone's going to try to claim a victory that's not theirs.
That sounds suspicious.
Just
I'm
know
worried.
I have something to say about it if they do.
Okay, well, let's back up a little bit and fill in. If there's anyone who's a little bit less aware of the Foosball National Indoor Prize League, let's back up a little bit. So you said it was a Q1 activity. The pairings, the teams, how were they chosen? What was the draft like?
All right, the draft was a random process. They went around a room and they were drawing names. So everyone knew that Johnny was the best
Okay.
at foosball.
Yeah,
right?
he's known. It is
Yeah,
known.
he's the man. He has some skills. So the first time they were doing the draft, they're going around and they let people pick names, and it turned out that whoever was drawing the name ended up picking their leader, their immediate leader.
Ah.
And so I think initially Johnny was supposed to be on someone else's team. I don't know whose. But everyone was so weirded out that analysts were picking the managers or picking their directors that they wanted to redraw. Even though it was 100% random, they wanted to redraw.
Interesting.
And then they
So it's just a
redrew.
little too spooky for everyone to
Yeah,
see
they were
the
like-
perfect alignments.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So, yeah, they did a redraw, and the next thing you know, I'm on Johnny's team, and we knew it was game over
Okay,
as
so
soon as that happened.
that was going to be one of my first questions for you. Did you guys feel any pressure? I mean, you're saying that you knew the combination of you and Johnny Means, prize foosballer, was going to be pretty hard to compete with. Did that increase the pressure on you guys, knowing that you had to live up to this pretty lofty standard?
You know, there's always pressure when you're playing in the bigs.
Yeah.
You know, you got to bring your A game every day. You never know who's going to come and get you, who's out there, and who's training. So the pressure is always there. We had to keep it up, but we came out like true professionals, I'd like to say.
Undefeated true professionals.
Undefeated, yeah. I know we played, every match was the best 2 out of 3. One time we did lose. We beat someone in the third game. We let them win 1 out of the 3. But other than that, unanimous.
What's your athletic history like? Like, what made you so well prepared to be able to compete on the foosball table?
So I played baseball and football, but they were great, but they didn't help me at all for foosball. I just always wanted to be a soccer man. Just watch these people run around on the field. But I just hate running. I can barely go down the street. I can almost check my mail in the morning. So what better than playing soccer on a table? I can almost sit down while I'm doing it. It's perfect.
I don't mean to disparage you and Johnny's playing, but perhaps it was your attitude, thinking that you could sit down, that made it so you guys actually lost a game in the championship round. You didn't lose the tournament, but your perfect record was sullied, as you pointed out to me. Do you think that had some impact? This laissez-faire approach?
No, actually, me and Johnny just switched positions, and it didn't work out very well. So we switched back and won pretty handily. 10-1, 10-2, something modest like that.
That's true. I was there for the game, as you recall. There was actually quite a big crowd, and I feel sad for those who didn't make it up to the fourth floor to be able to witness the first round in action. I guess I could be a little bit confusing on this podcast because I'm proclaiming Kasey and Johnny the champions, even though, as you pointed out, there is the idea of this second round or the loser's bracket that could be happening. Could be happening behind our backs right now as we speak. I don't know. So take that for what you will. We like this podcast to be informational. We like people to learn about different things. Last time we learned some great golf tips from Josh Meyer. This time we've learned about Chile Amor, a great Mexican restaurant. But the people need to learn about foosball. I mean, most people watch it on TV, but it's not like the announcers do a good job, right? So yeah. I've prepared a number of foosball terminology that the layman may be unfamiliar with, that I'd just like you to help us understand as an expert. Why don't we start off with what is called the Spice Trail?
You know, the Spice Trail really is just an exotic pass. It originates from the Far East. The act of serving the ball and then immediately passing it to your 3 men. I don't know how to say it.
You're attacking 3 men.
Yeah. You know, you serve it into your 5 bar and quickly pass it to your attacking 3 men to try to score more points. It also helps if you shout out the terminology as you're executing it to make people aware of what is actually happening.
It's a good tip. It's a great tip. What exactly... I'm reading this and I don't even know what this is. What is the pincher?
The pincher. So the pincher, yeah. So that's it's coined by our one and only Spencer Whiting, who's now in somewhere else.
Affiliate management, I believe.
Yeah. So basically you got the ball. It's right against the wall. And the only way to get it out is just to slam it with your guy. Yeah, that's a hard one to answer. We should move to the next one.
All right. The pincher. For further details, please contact Spencer Whiting. All right. How about the Broadway?
Ah, the Broadway. Yeah, this is a sneaky one. Usually, it just basically means you go right down the middle. You know, it's really not a hard shot. Hoping that all the people in front of you don't hit it back. It's not usually utilized. It's not the most...
You'd say it often results in what they call the slap back.
Yeah, it ends up in a goal for the other team most of the time.
Okay.
But
avoid Broadway, friends. Avoid.
Avoid the Broadway.
Okay. Last one, the changeup.
The changeup. This is actually your special.
Oh, thank you.
I know this one. This one you wind up to hit the ball hard. Next thing you know, it's just squeaking by.
The slow roller.
The slow roller. No one actually knows what's happening. It just happens to get through being the slowest shot possible. It's a nice change of pace shot. Usually try to hit with power, but then when you finesse it a little bit, you catch people off guard.
Alrighty.
Not going to do the cod.
Oh, I forgot about the cod. Thanks for reminding me. False alarm on that being the last one. There's actually another definition we'd need your expertise on. A little something called the cod.
Yeah, I was actually an expert at the cod when I first started. The cod, it stands for the corner of doom. Typically on defense, the ball just stops and no one can touch it. It just always ends up in the same spot over and over again. And it's a dead ball. I guess you just kind of kick it with your finger and hoping to get it back in play, but the ball just stops and no one knows why. And It happens repeatedly and continuously for some reason.
Thank you for those insightful definitions, and I'm sure our viewers, I'm sure our listeners back in the office have a greater appreciation for the game that they spend so much time watching and playing and studying. We try to avoid getting too personal, too emotional on the podcast. We don't want this to be a tearjerker, a heartbreaker. But most of us lived through the early 2000s when John Stockton retired and he left Karl Malone high and dry. Just left his partner of 18, 19 years, abandoned him. Malone had to seek refuge at a new team because he was so sad that his best pal left him. Is that what it felt like when Johnny abandoned you and your guys' equally dominant partnership?
You know, I don't want to say it was that extreme, but it was. It was just so painful to know someone you fought with so hard and to get all the way to the championship and put so much time just leaves. You're just done. You know, I'll fight through though.
Okay.
I'm looking for teammates. Anyone wants to join, let me know. I think we can I can bring someone up, and hopefully we can be a big staple here in the professional community in foosball.
You heard it here first. Kasey officially opening the door and accepting applications for partnership upon his return the new year for what may very well be a 2018 version of the Foosball Championship, or could be the thrilling conclusion to this first round of the championship. I'm not exactly sure. But if you feel that you want to take that next step, be brought up in the ways of the Foos, please reach out to Kasey. What email should they send this to?
Yeah, so the email is ifoosbetterthantomlaw@aol.com.
Okay. That's everything we've got for today. Case, thanks for coming. Thanks for not shaving. And thanks for putting up with my Mexican food breath this entire time.
Yeah, you're welcome. I just got to grow it out till I come back. Hopefully I'll be around the office showing you guys a sweet beard, and see you sometime in January.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Appreciate the time.
See you.